It's 7:03 p.m. on a Tuesday in late January. The Chicago wind is howling outside a third-floor apartment window in the South Loop, making the glass rattle in its frame. Inside, the only light comes from a laptop screen and the cool blue glow of a smartphone. The room smells vaguely of garlic and sesame oil from the empty takeout container on the coffee table. Meet Alex. He's 31, a logistics manager for a mid-sized company near the river north. He got home at 6:15. He changed out of his chinos and buttoned down into a pair of worn-out gray sweatpants and a college hoodie. This, he thought an hour ago, was the moment. Tonight was the night he'd finally start. He'd open that online course on data analytics he bought during a Black Friday sale. He'd spend 30 minutes on it. That was the plan. But first he'd just scroll for 5 minutes, just to unwind. His thumb moves on the phone screen with a gentle, rhythmic swiping sound. Instagram, a friend is on vacation in Mexico. The water a turquoise he can almost feel. LinkedIn, a woman he went to college with just announced a promotion to senior director. Her smile is bright, confident. He double taps the post a little congratulations. Heart. He feels a dull pinch somewhere behind his ribs. He switches to a food delivery app, then closes it. He's not hungry, he just ate. He opens YouTube. A video about building a morning miracle routine autoplays. The guy is talking about 5 a.m. cold plunges. Alex feels tired just listening. He swipes it away. The clock on his laptop now reads 7:17 p.m. He leans back into the couch cushions, which let out a soft asterisk, WHUMP asterisk, and hold him in a familiar, sagging embrace. The gym bag he packed this morning, the one with the new shoes still in the box, sits untouched by the front door. A silent monument to a different version of today. He can see the corner of the box from here. He looks away. This isn't a special night. This is asterisk every asterisk night. The hours between 7 p.m. and whenever he finally drags himself to bed feel like a strange, lost country. They're supposed to be his time, his freedom. But instead of freedom, it feels like he's floating in a quiet, lonely pool of regret. The workday wasn't even that hard. It's this time, right now, that's hard. His phone buzzes. It's a text from his buddy Mark, asterisk game on in 10. Asterisk, it's for an online shooter they play. For a second, Alex feels a spark of relief, an escape, a plan made for him. He types back, asterisk, yeah, loading up, asterisk as the game loads. It's dramatic music filling the small apartment. He catches his own reflection in the dark TV screen. He looks faded, a little blurry around the edges. He thinks about the analytics course. He thinks about the shoes in the box. He thinks about the book on his nightstand with a bookmark stuck on page 12 for 3 months. This is the silent soundtrack of his life after 7 p.m., the hum of the refrigerator kicking on. The distant, lonely whine of SETA bus braking outside. The click of the controller in his hands, the faint, metallic taste of old coffee still on his tongue. And underneath it all, a low, constant buzz of anxiety. Not a panic, just a whisper. Asterisk, you should be doing something else. Dotterisk, he plays for an hour. His team wins. He feels nothing. At 8:45, he stands up, his knees cracking. He carries the takeout container to the kitchen, the leftover rice, gone cold and hard. He rinses it, the water loud in the quiet sink. He brushes his teeth, staring at his own tired eyes in the bathroom mirror. The face looking back is the face of someone who is fine. His job is fine. His apartment is fine. His life is fine. But as he climbs into bed at 9:30, too early to be tired, too late to start anything, the question arrives, uninvited and sharp. It comes every night, right on schedule, as he stares at the ceiling. What did I actually do tonight? The answer is a hollow echo. He scrolled. He consumed. He distracted. He killed time. He spent the most valuable hours of his personal life, the hours where he could build something for himself, doing absolutely nothing that mattered to him. And here's the worst part. He believes he knows why. He tells himself the story he's been told forever, the story he tells himself every single night. He whispers it into the dark room now. It's because I'm lazy. I just don't have the discipline. I'm not a morning person. I'm tired after work. I'll start tomorrow when I have more energy. He rolls over, punching his pillow into a new shape. He believes this lie completely. He believes discipline is something you find at 5 a.m. with a green juice in your hand. He believes that after 7 p.m., after a long day, he's off the clock. His brain is fried. He deserves to zone out. This is his reward, so why does it feel so much like a punishment? He falls asleep with the city lights painting faint, shifting shapes on his ceiling. Tomorrow is Wednesday. He will go to work, be perfectly competent, even driven. And at 7:03 p.m., he will walk through his apartment door, hang up his coat, and once again, become a different person. The person who gives up, the person who believes the lie. But what if the problem isn't Alex? What if the problem isn't his morning routine, his job, or his willpower? What if the problem is specifically what he does every single night at 7 p.m.? Alex is walking out of his office building on Wacker Drive. The cold Chicago air hits him like a slap, sharp and bracing. He pulls his scarf up over his nose. His breath makes little clouds in the orange glow of the streetlights. He feels the familiar weight of his laptop bag on his shoulder and the lighter, buzzing weight of his phone in his coat pocket.
He walks to the L station, the rhythm of his dress shoes on the sidewalk, a steady, purposeful click, click, click. He's thinking about the project he just wrapped up, about the email he needs to send first thing tomorrow. He weaves through the crowd of other commuters, a river of wool coats and tired faces. He is, in this moment, Alex, the professional. He's competent. He makes decisions. He solves problems. He just spent 8 hours proving that. He swipes his Ventra card, the gate flashing green. The train is warm and crowded, a blur of noise and motion. He stands, holding a pole, his body swaying with the rhythmic clatter of the tracks. He's still professional Alex here. Maybe he's mentally drafting that email. Maybe he's feeling a small spark of pride from a job well done. He gets off at the Roosevelt stop. The walk to his apartment is 5 minutes. With each step, something subtle begins to change. It's not a conscious thought. It's a feeling. The tightness in his shoulders from the office chair begins to feel more like a general weariness. The focused energy in his brain starts to fuzz around the edges, like a radio station losing its signal. He reaches his building, a modern brick structure with big windows. He pushes through the heavy lobby door, greeted by the quiet, generic smell of clean floors and filtered air. He nods to his neighbor, Maria, who's checking her mail. "Long day?" she asks with a sympathetic smile. "Yeah, you know how it is," he says. His voice sounds different here. Softer, flatter. He rides the elevator up to the 3rd floor. The doors open with a soft ding. He walks down the hallway, the patterned carpet muffling his steps. He pulls out his keys. The metal feels cool in his fingers. He unlocks the deadbolt, turns the knob, and pushes the door open. Click. Whoosh. Thud. The door closes behind him. The sounds of the city vanish, replaced by the profound, heavy silence of an empty apartment. He hangs his coat in the closet. He toes off his shoes, lining them up neatly. He places his laptop bag carefully by his small desk. And right there, in that quiet minute, the costume change happens. It's not just the clothes, though that's part of it. He peels off the button-down shirt, the fabric crisp from the day. He pulls on the old soft hoodie from his alma mater, University of Illinois. The cuffs are frayed. It smells faintly of laundry detergent and very deeply of years of being worn. He changes into the sweatpants. But it's more than fabric. His posture changes. His shoulders round forward just a bit. The light in his eyes, the focused on mode from the office, dims. He lets out a long, slow breath he didn't realize he was holding. He has officially left the territory of professional Alex. He has crossed the border into the land of home Alex. Home Alex is a different person. His entire identity shifts. Professional Alex is a builder, a doer, a problem solver. Home Alex? His only mission is to recharge, to decompress, to escape. The unspoken rule is simple. The workday took from you. Now you take back. You consume. You zone out. You deserve it. This is the identity trap. And it's not laziness. Think of it like this. Your brain loves routines. It loves scripts. It sees a specific set of cues. The closed apartment door, the comfy clothes, the time on the clock reading 7 p.m., and it automatically rolls out the correct behavioral script. The home self script. The script says, find the nearest comfortable surface. Locate a screen. Engage passive consumption mode. Do not, under any circumstances, start anything that requires effort. For Alex, the trap is perfectly baited. The couch is the center of the Home Alex universe. The remote is right there. The phone is charging on the side table. Every single object in his line of sight is a cue for the checkout script. The fancy coffee table book, never opened. The guitar in the corner, collecting dust. The little notebook for ideas, buried under a magazine. He believes with every fiber of his being that he is too tired to do his data course. But is he? Let's test it. If his friend Mark called right then and said, the gang's getting together at that new bar on Randolph in 20 minutes, what would happen? Suddenly, energy would appear. He'd change clothes again, feel a jolt of anticipation, head out into the cold. He wasn't physically tired. He was identity tired. His home self identity is programmed for passive recovery, not active creation. Here's a real example. Let's call her Chloe. Chloe is a graphic designer who lives in a sunny studio in Lakeview. She has the same trap, but her cues are different. For her, the trigger is the sound of her kettle whistling at 7:30 p.m. That's her signal for tea and TikTok time. She makes a beautiful cup of herbal tea, curls up in her favorite armchair by the window, and for the next 90 minutes, she scrolls. She follows artists whose work she admires. She saves videos on animation techniques she wants to learn. But she never does the learning. She only saves, bookmarks, and plans to do it later. The home Chloe identity is the inspired appreciator, not the practicing artist. The trap isn't that she's uninspired. The trap is that her script confuses consumption of inspiration for the act of creation. She feels the buzz of seeing great art and mistakes it for the buzz of making her own. Her false belief is, feeling inspired is enough. Back to Alex, sunk into his couch. The villain here isn't his long day. It's the false belief he swallowed without question. I owe myself this mindless time. I deserve to zone out. It sounds so reasonable, so kind to yourself. But what if that belief is stealing from you? What if zoning out isn't putting energy back into your battery, but is actually drilling a tiny hole in it, letting all your potential for a better life slowly drain onto your couch cushions night after night?
Neuroscientists have a term for this. They call it the procedural self. It's the version of you that runs on autopilot, based on your environment and habits. When you walk into your kitchen in the morning, you don't decide how to make coffee. Your procedural self does it. When Alex walks into his apartment at 7 p.m., his procedural self is home Alex script takes the wheel. He's not making a choice to waste his night. He's simply following a program written by 1,000 previous nights just like it. So the battle isn't against some moral failing called laziness. The battle is against a script, an identity. A ghost version of yourself that takes over when the sun goes down. But here's the turning point. The first fragile question that can crack the trap open. What if you didn't change identities? What if the you that crushed that presentation at 4 p.m., the you that navigated a difficult conversation with a coworker, The you that felt focused, capable, and adult. What if that person didn't disappear when you walked through your front door? What if, instead of changing from professional Alex into home Alex, you just stayed as Alex? One person, one identity. A person who works and then a person who lives intentionally? Not a person who escapes from life for a few hours every night. It's a strange thought, isn't it? It feels almost uncomfortable. Because home Alex has been your refuge for years. Letting go of him feels like letting go of a safe, if disappointing, friend. But what if that refuge is actually a cage with really comfortable furniture? The script is powerful. It's been running for years. How do you even begin to fight something that feels as natural as breathing? You don't fight it head on. You don't try to become a totally different person overnight. That's a recipe for failure. Instead, you do one tiny, almost silly thing. You create a glitch in the system. You confuse the script. You make it so when your procedural self shows up at 7:05 p.m. looking for the couch, the remote, and the scrolling routine, it finds something slightly different waiting for it. Just one small thing. A single, deliberate action that says, not tonight. Tonight, we're trying a new story. It's Wednesday. 6:58 p.m. Alex is standing in his kitchen, refilling his water bottle. The familiar evening fog is starting to roll into his brain. He had a decent day, a normal day. The ghost of last night's regret, that hollow feeling as he stared at the ceiling, is still there, but it's faint, like a smudge on a window. He's already changed into the sweatpants and hoodie. The home Alex costume is on. The script is queued up. His body is already leaning, just slightly, toward the living room, toward the couch, toward the waiting glow of the TV, but something is different. A small, stubborn idea took root over his lunch hour today. He'd been reading an article, not a productivity guru piece, just a simple interview with a woodworker in Andersonville. The man said his best ideas never came at the workbench, but during his short walk to get a coffee when his hands were empty and his mind was free. A single line stuck in Alex's head: you have to break your own rhythm before you can find a new one. So Alex made a promise to himself. A stupidly small promise, almost embarrassingly easy. At 7:05 p.m., he would walk out his front door. That's it. No grand goal. He wouldn't go for a run. He wouldn't walk to the gym. He would just leave. For 10 minutes, no phone. He would leave it charging on the kitchen counter. Just him, his keys, and the cold Chicago night. The clock on the microwave flips to 7:04. The resistance arrives immediately. It's not a loud, dramatic voice. It's a quiet, reasonable whisper from every tired cell in his body. Asterisk, it's 19 degrees outside. Wind chill makes it feel like 10. Asterisk, asterisk, you've been on your feet all day. Just sit down. Asterisk, asterisk, what's the point? You'll just come back inside and do nothing anyway. Save yourself the trouble. Asterisk. This is the internal battle. It feels silly to even call it a battle. It's more like a heavy weight of why bother settling onto his shoulders. It would be so much easier to just follow the script, to let the procedural self take over. The couch is right there. It's warm. It's comfortable. It promises immediate, effortless relief. 7:05. He looks at his phone, a shiny black rectangle on the countertop. Its screen is dark, but he knows a universe of distraction is inside. All his friends, the news, the videos, the games. Leaving it feels like unplugging from life support. A mild panic flutter rises in his chest. What if someone texts? What if he misses something? He takes a deep breath. The air in the apartment feels still and used. He walks to the door. His hand hesitates on the cold metal of the doorknob. This is the moment. This is the exact point where the old script wins, night after night after night. The threshold, on one side, is the familiar, comfortable trap. On the other side is, what? Cold air and uncertainty. He turns the knob. The latch clicks, a sharp, final sound in the quiet apartment. He pulls the door open. The hallway air is cooler. He steps out, pulling the door closed behind him until he hears the solid, satisfying asterisk thunk asterisk of the deadbolt engaging. The sound is important. It's a boundary. He has officially left the environment that triggers the home Alex script. He starts walking down the hallway toward the stairs. His apartment feels suddenly separate from him, a container he has voluntarily stepped out of. The fluorescent lights of the hallway hum overhead. He can hear the muffled sound of a TV from a neighbor's place, the faint melody of someone's dinner jazz.
That is the microscopic victory. It's not that he learned a new skill. It's not that he transformed his body or his career. They would give all this newly claimed space right back to the old enemy. But not you. Not if you're listening to this. You're outside the trap. You are in the 5% now. The cold air on your face was the wake-up call. The magic was that it proved the script could be broken. Just once. A single crack of light in a dark room. But a crack is not a window. Have you ever felt lost? Like the person you see in the mirror is a complete stranger? That was me a few years ago. I was Alex, a guy who had everything figured out. Or so I thought. That's when I decided to declare war. Not on anyone else, but on the version of myself I had become. The first weapon in my arsenal was something I called the bridge action. The second core component was the single bullet task. I started to recognize the man in the mirror again. This journey taught me that identity isn't something you find. It's something you build. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on building a stronger, more intentional life. Let me know in the comments what your single bullet task would be for tomorrow. Let's win the day together.